What up, Houston Rockets fans?
What up, y'all?
Jalen fucking Green.
That, that's the player I always thought he could be.
I don't know what it is. The internet's going ablaze of what it is, but this dude is on another planet right now. Like,
I believe it to be like a multitude of things that went his way. Like, opportunity first and foremost, because Sengun's hurt, right?
yeah,
So, like, I think he made the I actually thought he was playing really, really well when Sengun was there, but then he made the effort to be a little bit more aggressive on the offense. And it doesn't help that Cam Whitmore's ball hogging ass is hurt too. So, I mean, that's just more shots. So, you factor that in, and he's actually got a center who's playing frontline defense for him, which kind of complements the team game in the sense like rebound and run, which he's getting easier buckets that way, and he just got a hot hand from three. Like it's all working for him right now.
yeah. His like step back, like no look 3-pointers right now are like amazing to watch. His last 5 games, 37 points, 26, 42, 26, 41 against the Jazz. They
Efficient.
like efficiency also in shots, like 15 to 23, 9 to 20, 20 over 21. Today was 15 for 21. Like,
Come on. When you're that aggressive and playing within the confines of the system, I'll take that every damn game.
yeah, I mean, us two were very much on the Jalen Green fan base still. We're still supporting him. That's our boy. Give it time. And hearing the coaches, how they would talk to him, like, especially Ime was like, hey, like, we have to understand what these guys dealt with 2 years ago played a
Mm-hmm.
part in how they're developing now. But there's gonna be a moment where they're gonna play up to what we feel they are, and we're starting to see at least a level of Jalen Green where we're like, hold up, this is the number 2 pick right here for a reason. Like, this was
It
the Jalen Green.
Unfortunately, I do believe it's just going to intensify the Sengun Jalen conversation arguments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um, I think it brings it back to a neutral state in which that you could plead a case for either. But I think it puts pressure on Stone. It's like, damn, now what direction do we go? Because when Sengun's doing his thing, he ball hogging. It's at the Jalen's not doing Jalen shit, but now Jalen's get a chance to do his thing without Sengun. He looks good. Like, what direction do we go moving forward? Who do we build around? Either one of them a centerpiece? Do we trade one of them? Who has more value? So
yeah.
I only expect more dumb shit to be said about that.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Because now, like you said, even playing field. The Jalen Green fans that supported him have a case now, and I mean, it's a great problem to have for us as Rockets fans because
I just feel like, and I don't want to say that I know more about it because I know a lot of fucking hoopers and they know basketball. Everybody doesn't realize what they're watching at the time, but you and I were watching the game today. We're about 30 in the fourth quarter, and all I had to say was Jalen's still playing defense aggressive as shit. Like that counts to me. Like that's a
yeah,
skill. That's effort. You're doing it, and I've never said that about Sengun.
yeah, and I think it's like, I mean, we not us, but like Rockets fans were crucifying Jalen for every little thing he did. Even if he had a great game, they're like, "Oh, well, he didn't do this or he didn't do that," and it just feels good for. I mean, he's arguably probably the hottest player of the month in the NBA, like point blank period. And it's like it's good to have him get his flowers this year. Like, I mean, it sucks that it came at the detriment of like a bunch of players hurt, but he's leading the team. He's like, hey, we're still gonna have a chance to make the playoffs if we keep playing what we do, and I'm gonna put y'all on my damn back, and we're gonna go out there and do it. And like you said, it's not just his offense, which everybody sees, his defense. Dude's got there trying to get steals, blocking shots. I mean, the DeMar DeRozan shit, he blocked him, and then he got mad about it. Like, and
Like I said, it just and this. I'm not taking a shot at Sengun. People don't fucking
yeah,
crucify me in the comments for this, but the team as a whole without Sengun is kind of good together. They're faster. Like the ball doesn't stick. There's not just one person standing in the paint like he does in the way.
Yeah.
And I think it allows Fred and Amin to be put them in a more natural position of what they do because Jalen can just play off of it.
And I think it's when I mean the year's still going on. We still have a chance for playing tournament, which at
That's
one point,
crazy, bro. I'll eat crow now. 2 weeks ago, I didn't think we had a fucking chance, but at this point right now, it's like we got a game left against the Warriors. I believe. I'm kind of, hey, we can get in. We can get in.
yeah, I've been keeping an eye on the Lakers and the Warriors, and they've both been struggling a lot. The Rockets are the hottest team right now in the NBA. It's looking like there's a chance for sure. It's one of those things though. I'm looking at it as like a coaching standpoint, and they asked Ime about like, okay, how do you feel about these scuffles? And he just keeps grinning, like, and he's like, that's Rockets basketball, like that intensity, that thing about it, and like they were talking about earlier, like they had a scuffle with Jabari today and Dunn, and they both got ejected. But like they're like when you have multiple scuffles like this, all that does is bring your locker room together. Like everybody's like, "Nah, dog, I
Mm-hmm.
got you," and you're seeing that with this team right now.
Ryan Holland said it in the broadcast today when that little bullshit scuffle happened. He was like, "You wake sleeping giants by doing that because the team could be bored and you get a scuffle and they'll rally around each other." You know what I'm saying? Right now, Houston's got momentum on their side. We're kind of a little bit hurt, so they're kind of leaning on one another anyway. But if you put our backs against the corner together, then we got some dogs that'll get us the fuck out. Because it's crazy to me that like they're talking about the scuffle. Say Dylan Brooks and DeMar DeRozan shit, right? They both get ejected, and all they're talking about is Dylan did the right thing. He stuck up for Jalen, yada yada yada. True, that's why he's here. But that motherfucker had like 9 3-pointers made in that game. Like Dylan
Hmm.
Brooks is hooping. He's not there just to catch an elbow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So they're
yeah.
that's what I mean by they're rallying around each other. Dylan Brooks the past 2 3 weeks been balling. He been balling.
You watched your video where you were like, "I need you to do better."
Jock Landale, bro, fucking kudos, son. Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. That dude is hooping.
This dude, they asked him, they go, "What is?" He's like, we have injuries. I had to step in, and hey, you stepped in and showed out, bro. You've been blocking, you've been making 3 pointers, you've been taking the 3 pointers, which keeps the ball flowing in the offense of Ime Udoka's system. Like it's just working, and it's one of those things where it's like if you're not watching Rockets basketball, and I get it, people are like, "Oh, well, it's because of this." All right, fine, whatever. This right here of what we're watching with all the injuries is a glimpse of what we have excitement for next year because
Yes.
you're seeing the Ime Udoka culture. You're seeing what we've been pushing for in that locker room, in that organization, and it's coming together. Like even like the comment you made, like when you said that all the coaches, the whole staff, they're pretty much athletes. Like you can go play anybody you damn want, and you're gonna get a competitive game at some point. That culture that they are building is just
In my opinion, I don't even understand why people are so shocked by how well we're doing right now because when you're lacking something, when you receive it, you're expected to do better. For instance, the Houston Texans, we couldn't run the ball worth a shit. There was 2 or 3 weeks when Singletary ran the ball and we looked unstoppable. Like we could fucking beat any team, right?
yeah,
You were lacking. You did it. Houston was getting no production from the center position on defense. Like we were just giving up paint shit like we were a hoe. And Landale was like, no, this is not happening anymore. And to an extent, it elevated Jabari. Like Jabari is like, I don't have to worry about the center position. I can be a true help defender on the backside.
yeah,
And these motherfuckers had like 12 blocks between the two against Washington. It's like y'all ain't getting shit around here. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
we were lacking. We're doing better. You get more possessions because you're getting more rebounds. You're getting more blocks, which limits points in the paint, and it gives the people a chance to run. Amin Thompson running off of that shit is crazy to me. I'm gonna nickname him the Rocket because it don't matter what direction he goes in, up, down, sideways, left, right. It's just fast. Pew, pew,
Yeah,
pew, pew. It's like what the hell is going on here?
yeah. No, he seeing his production at the end, it makes you like when I look at the picks that Raphael Stone has done, I'm like, okay, now I'm seeing this gold mine of different picks you had with the Tari, the Amin, the Cam. We all know that one. The Sengun, the Jalen, like Jabari. It's like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're kind of doing here and all that stuff, and we have some good problems to have for sure.
Well,
Um,
the best thing that we've done recently is quit turning the ball over. We haven't had that problem, so that's
yeah,
helping us. A lot of it has to do with Fred. Like Fred balled out today against
10
who did we just
pointers.
play? Yeah, he had 10
Utah.
3-pointers against Utah. That's what I was saying. Jalen being aggressive like that gets people's attention, and then it just lets Fred and Dylan and Landale and all those guys just fall in. Get some momentum behind them, and it's hard to beat because those guys have experience.
I said, I'm right now. We have a few games. I think we're 35-35 in our last 70 games or something like that. Like we got a few games left, and these are going to be some fun games to
It
watch.
con- it, it because it means something for a change. It
Yeah.
finally fucking means something. We asked for this preseason. It's like just give us meaningful games going into the playoffs and a chance to get there, and that's exactly what we have.
Mm-hmm. Because at this time last year, we were like, who we drafting? Who
Yeah,
we
who we
getting this?
drafted? Yeah,
It's it's not that. It's hey, and they believe it. They'll say, hey, we still got a chance at the playoffs. Like we understand, what everything happened, but we still got a chance, and that's all you can
I
ask.
don't know how people feel about it, bro. I'm just gonna say it because this is how I feel. This stretch of basketball we're going through right now is gonna have a lot of influence dictating how we proceed in the rebuild. I just fail to believe there's not people in that building who can look at what's going on, and I specifically mean Ime in this instance, to be like, I'll trade Sengun's ass. You know what I'm saying? Because if you were to trade him for something with a pick or something, you could bring in a really good player and still have a replacement. You got Jabari at the four, Tari at the four. You got Landale, you got Steven Adams. So you're stacked. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of conversations to be had going forward just because of this stretch of basketball in March.
It's gonna be interesting because Raphael Stone being the GM that we know he is, I would not say there's one player on this team that's safe from a trade. Like as much as Rockets fans believe that Jalen and Shigun are these, I was like, if somebody called a magical trade, I'm
Let me
sure
ask you
he'll make
this:
it.
Do you believe Ime has more influence on the roster going forward than we think?
Yes,
The only reason I believe that Sengun would get traded is if Ime requests it.
yes, and that's what I think, and that's what I was going to say. Ime, I feel that when Raphael brought in Ime, it was how can I build a team for you to lead.
Mm-hmm.
Not I know what I want as a GM, and these are my options. But what are you looking for in your culture? And we kind of see that with Nick and D'Amico. I want this guy, but can you work with this guy? Do you like this guy? Is he a D'Amico Ryan's player? And that's how it kind of feels with Ime. Is he an Ime Udoka player? And
Mm-hmm.
does he do what you need? Does he have the intangibles? And he kind of talked about it. He's like, there's no player on our team right now that is what I expect and what Ime expects. He goes, they all have to work to that. And so it kind of feels like if anybody gets traded, I'm pretty sure people are going to be mad at Raphael, but it's going to have a say of Ime too. Like, I traded this person because of this, or like the Steven Adams, I'm sure everybody's mad at like, oh, we didn't get a center. Well, he got a guy that Ime Udoka will know how to use next year. Like, it's going to
Yes.
be great.
I just look at Steven Adams and Landale as a 1-2 center, and I was like, y'all can fucking bang with anybody, y'all can rebound with anybody. Landale can shoot the three if you need somebody to stretch. Like to me, that's just a good setup. You know what I mean? And it
One,
goes
two
back
point
to like
guard.
who's the odd man out? Is it Jabari or is it Sengun? And I would just watch how this team plays defense with Jabari, and I was like, fuck, this dude's elite on defense. He's streaky on offense, but like even on his kind of bad nights, you don't really run plays for him, and he'll still get you 14.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. I'm not trying to take shots at Sengun, but he just seems like the odd man out in the culture to
And
me.
and there's gonna be for sure. I mean, if whether we make the plan or not, there's gonna be those talks of Jabari, Sengun, Cam, Jalen, Amin, Fred. Like, there's gonna be all these. What is this? Is it? Do we need Dylan Brooks if we do this? It's gonna be one of those weird things. What are we getting off season? What are we getting in draft? Because all of this and all, we're forgetting we own Brooklyn's pick, and they are atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
So we may have a top 10 pick still this year.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have the potential to be sitting there at like 9 and say, "All right, I got Brooklyn's number 9 pick and a player to trade." Like that could yield me an elite starting small forward or something. That might be the only things you need to get the Mikal Bridges or something. You know?
Yeah. And that's a player they've been eyeing. So I mean, I would, as a Rockets fan, I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, y'all are done for trading Sengun." I'm not putting any player as safe from Raphael and Ime. Because if they go in thinking that, hey, this guy can take over this guy's spot, and we need to trade him now while the stove is hot,
Well, that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
cool.
He has value. People, at some point, the league is just going to accept a player for what they are. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like you're in your 3rd year, going into your 4th year. We do this shit again, going into your 5th year when you do that extension. It's like, all right, you're not fooling me no more, bitch. You don't play defense. You don't play Ime type defense because if you look at the past couple weeks without Sengun, I haven't really complained about anybody giving effort on defense.
there'll be like one mess
The
up, but like
yeah,
bullets or
you'll get
something.
your
Yeah,
mess ups, but it's also like you watch Sengun play defense sometimes being the center when you're calling people where they should be, and it's like you're 5 steps slower where you should be. So don't worry about what the fuck anybody else is doing. You know what I mean?
yeah. And it's gonna be interesting because it's. I feel like I personally feel it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be like, all right, Ime is gonna be like, this is what I have. Let me see what I can do with all this.
Mm-hmm.
And but the minute it starts to feel like, nah, this ain't working. I
So I think we're both in agreement that you probably won't see Sengun again this year
yeah,
unless we make the tourney. And even then, I don't know if I would ruffle the feathers. I kind of would like to see what the Rockets are if Sengun would try to play off of Jabari like Jabari would try to play off of him. It's like let's continue to let Jabari be aggressive and see if Sengun can be productive in like a help, not necessarily a help role, but like we shouldn't run offense through you as much as we were.
yeah. And it's like it's there's teams that when they have two, three players, they have to figure out new roles of like how am I beneficial to the team when I'm not detrimental to the team also. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Clippers, for instance. You have all these big superstars, they all had to figure it out. If you're that talented as players and as a coaching staff, you can figure it out. And so it's one of the things if Ime can figure it out with his staff, if the players can figure it out, because it's going to come down to also of next year. Okay, how is your game developing to the next level? What can I work on? And I mean, him and Jalen have. I give them both props. They've tried to do better. Jabari doing yoga and all that stuff tried to do better. So as long as they make another leap, okay. Well, how does that translate to this team?
That's why I'm adamant about seeing what Sengun does if asked to take a step back a little bit in ball and like being
Yeah,
ball dominant because let's think about it. Jabari's the number 3 pick. He come into the league. He ain't ever had the offense ran through him, and you don't hear him bitch about it. Amin Thompson, you don't hear him bitch about it. Tari, he wasn't bitching about it. When Jalen was asked to be productive in a role that he wasn't quite sure what it was, he didn't really bitch about it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So I expect the same courtesy from Sengun. When it's like, bro, you seen what these guys are doing on the court without you. Like, are you visually watching, learning, seeing what you should be doing to help the team? You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's like earlier we talked about it. It's like Jock Landale took a three, he missed it, but it's like that's the right play
hmm
because that
And
keeps. Sengun doesn't do that.
And Ime said it, and so that's why I love when people are like, "Oh, y'all two are haters." Ime said it. He said, "Hey, he'll pull him to the side, but you should have took that shot.
Yeah,
Take the shot, because then you can get the rebound, we can get the flow, the offense moving. Because if not, it gets stagnant, and then we can look lost." And he said it as a player. He has said, "He goes, I need to have more confidence and take the shot." So what is the point of getting mad at us and Bayou City Boys when we call him out, but he calls it out and his coach calls it?
yeah.
It's like I'm just saying what we see. All right,
I don't
and
know.
we
I fucking love what I see from the Rockets. I'm excited moving forward. I don't even particularly want a lot of change. I don't even want Sengun to be traded because going forward in the future, he's the problem for the Wimbies and the Chets and it's like that's how you kind of counter those guys. You know what I mean?
yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like all in all, if all the pieces fall, you not like you guys figure out how to play together, and this is gonna be magic. Even if you can't, then that's when the coach and the GM step in and like, all right, we need to move some stuff around because it's not that we this guy is better than this guy. It's just well, who do we trust a little more to work with the more of the group and then figure it out that way. And it happens on all teams. I mean, but if it
That's why
works
I'm
out,
such a fan of Cam Whitmore because he don't have to figure shit out. He knows what he's supposed to do. He
yeah,
just fires that hole out. He's like, I'm shooting the ball and I'm jumping fucking passing lanes. That's what I'm here for.
it's so funny because the yin and yang of players that we get, like on one
I
true.
get so excited of the thought of seeing Amin, Jalen, and Cam on the court together in the future. Because I can't think of another team in the league, and that includes like OKC and some of those teams that think they're good. Is like y'all can't fuck with that lineup right there. That's talent on another level.
Athleticism, everything. Oh man, I'm getting excited.
Attitude.
Yeah. Well, the Rockets, the new bad boys of the NBA, they're making some noise. A lot of people are talking about them right now, as they should be. But
People gonna quit fucking with them young boys. I'll tell you that.
I said they ain't taking no shit. Rockets fans, what do y'all think? We making the tournament? We not? I'm gonna put a poll up on YouTube. Drop a comment. Let us know. What do you think of the season so far? Do a lot of you owe Jalen Green an apology?
Yeah, I do. You don't even owe an apology. Just admit you were wrong.
Yeah,
You know what? I ain't even gonna be a hater like that. You don't have to admit you're wrong. Just admit that you don't want him traded anymore. Quit fucking
yeah,
saying trade this guy.
yeah. Oh, he has no value. The dumb stuff. Stop the dumb stuff. He has no value. He shouldn't be in the NBA. He can't play. Shut that. That was the dumb stuff. Y'all take that shit away and we'll be fine. And see what happened was I realized I put his jersey up in my closet next to Hakeem Olajuwon's ever since then, and
Oh, leave it there. Don't touch it.
I ain't touching it. I'm gonna leave it right there
Don't
in the
touch it.
corner.
You could never wear it now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wear it. I'm just gonna leave it there. The moment I try to wear it, he's gonna go like 0 for 20. Rockets fans, you made to this point, like, subscribe to Bayou City Boys. We got you covered. There's a lot more content coming up as the month of April rolls around. U of H, Rockets, Texans, Astros, and we'll figure out everything else. Other than that, much love. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's weekend. We are out of here.
Peace.
How much I'm working for this? I swear my dreams are too important.